From News 3 Now, this is breaking news.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Bretter with Susan Simon. We are coming on the air with multiple breaking stories right now. First, just into the newsroom, the Mount Horeb School District is on full lockdown at this hour after a report of an active shooter at the middle school. In the district's latest update, they say that threat has been neutralized outside of the building.
Now, according to the district's Facebook page, the lockdown started at 11:16 this morning, and the district is asking that no one come onto the school campus at this time. Await further instructions. Many of the students have already been evacuated to the public library. News 3 Now has a crew that is just arriving on the scene. Our Maddie Himes just got there, and we hope to check in with her with more information coming up in just a few minutes in this newscast.
More breaking news. Protests continue on the UW-Madison campus at this hour after law enforcement and students clashed earlier today outside of the library mall.
Now, this all started escalating just before 7 o'clock this morning. We had a crew live on the scene of the encampments throughout the morning, and for the most part, things were peaceful. At about 6:50, police officers with a speaker went to the encampment and played the same message on repeat. That message telling students that this was their final warning and they had to pack up and remove their tents within 15 minutes.
The State Patrol, Dane County Sheriff's Office, and UW Police all on the scene at that time. We have been live at the scene with team coverage since this conflict started this morning.
So let's begin first with our Kyle Pozorski. He is live on the scene on campus. Kyle, where are you right now and what are you seeing?
Right now, I'm near on State Street, near the library mall. As you can see behind me, the encampment is still out there. We were expecting to happen within the past half hour, and still right now, we were expecting to have some kind of rally and march, which is going to be kind of walking us up here through Bascom Hill. So far, we have seen nothing of that sort happening, but as you can see behind me, students on the campus overall continue to go to class just as normal. We'll swing back here to the actual library mall encampment and what's going on here. As we were reporting all morning, it was quite a chaotic scene. We have learned that about 12 people have been arrested by UW police this morning, and the scene video you're seeing right now, again, very chaotic and something that, we haven't seen for such a time here on the UW campus. It was quite remarkable as we were out here. People were getting hit. There was some blood coming from other people as they were out here. Stuff like that is something that you don't expect to see on a college campus, which is a home for learning for many people. Again, as we're looking back, the scene right now is very calm and clear at this time. Some more tents have been put up. I believe Jalen Banks is going to be reporting on that. For now, reporting on the UW campus, I'm Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. Let's turn back to Library Mall, where police took the tents and some of the protesters' belongings, removing them and putting them on the back of a truck that drove away.
Our Jalen Banks is live on Bascom Hill. And Jalen, we understand that students are re-erecting some of those tents, putting them back up. What's going on?
Yes, as you guys just mentioned, and Kyle, not too long ago, this morning when law enforcement came through, they essentially took the encampment down, leaving them down to essentially 2 tents. And just behind me, as you can see, the encampment is essentially back up and running. I would say that there's just under 24 camps here. They've even gone as far as having a first aid tent set up for those that have been injured. The food and water is set back up for those who are in the encampment and around here protesting to be able to take some as they need. As far as the environment and how it feels currently this morning, as you'd imagine, emotions were high. It was still pretty tense. Right now, things are relatively jovial. People out here talking and smiling and things of that nature, almost as if you wouldn't have even realized that there was a confrontation with law enforcement. As far as law enforcement goes, there's actually a small law enforcement presence walking through currently. It looks as if it's 2 Dane County sheriffs walking through. They are actually, let's see, I see another crew of law enforcement not too far away as well. The law enforcement presence currently is relatively minimal, but I see currently 5 or so law enforcement individuals here at at Library Mall, not too far from the encampment itself. But for now, reporting at the encampment here at Library Mall. Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Yeah, much quieter now out there, but definitely the tents coming back up.
Jalen, have any of the UW-Madison police officers been talking to the students about setting their tents back up, or have you asked anyone there why they're doing that again?
Earlier this morning, we had spoken to one of the representatives of the encampment. At that moment, they said that they had no communication back and forth with law enforcement at that time, and I personally have not seen law enforcement speaking to any of the students or anybody at the encampment itself.
Okay.
All right, Jalen Banks live for us. Jalen, thank you. UW-Madison Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin releasing a statement today on that encampment. She says in part, quote, "I cannot emphasize strongly enough our support for free expression and peaceful protest. Now that the illegal activity has been resolved, students and others are free to resume peaceful protest that abides by campus protest guidelines today or at any time in the future. Our operation focused only on the tents and the encampment, which constituted the only prohibited activity under Chapter 18 of the UW System Administrative Code." Of course, that statement came out after the tents were removed the first time, and now the tents are back up. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here, Susan.
Right. We're going to be providing live updates on several big developing stories that are happening right now. The situation on the UW-Madison campus, of course, and also a developing situation in Mount Horeb at the middle school. You can follow our coverage right here on News 3 Now or with the free Channel 3000 mobile app. But let's quickly take a break and get a check on the weather while we can. Breezy and nice outside today. Here's meteorologist Jacob Montesano. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Susan. Yeah, right now conditions are pretty comfortable. We're seeing middle 60s across the entire area. Looking at Dane County, some places are getting close to 70. That's the case down south and also off to the west. So a very nice day, although, as Susan mentioned, it is a bit breezy. Looking at the current wind speed, some areas are actually exceeding 20 miles per hour at this hour. 24 in Monroe, 24 miles per hour in Prairie du Chien. But the winds aren't expected to continue to be breezy over the next couple of days. Now, looking at the forecast for this afternoon, we are likely going to see some locations get to around 70 degrees, but we'll stay in the upper 60s with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Not going to see a ton of sunshine today, certainly not as much as we saw yesterday, but we do have an alert day tomorrow for the possibility of some strong storms. Right now, it looks like the best chance will be during the afternoon and evening, but rainfall is expected throughout much of the day. And right now, there is a marginal risk for severe weather for Madison and areas to the south and west. I'll take you through the timing of this rainfall coming up a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, we'll check back in just a little bit. Thank you. Also happening today, former President Trump will be in Wisconsin for a campaign visit. He is heading to Waukesha for his second trip to the Badger State this year. On primary election day, Trump went to Green Bay for a rally. He will speak at the Waukesha County Expo Center at 2 o'clock this afternoon. His campaign says Trump will talk about crime, the border, and the opioid crisis. Still ahead for us this afternoon, we hope to have a live update from Mount Horeb and our Maddie Heimch in just a few moments, and a recall on walnuts that you might want to know about.
Plus, Walmart rolling out a new store label of affordable gourmet foods.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Moving forward. Right now, pet dander, skin cells, and dirt are settling deep into your carpet fibers. Stanley Steamer removes the dirt you see and the dirt you don't. Your carpets aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
If you're about to replace your roof, stop. There's a solution about 80% less expensive. 9 out of 10 roofs can be saved by RoofMax. Guaranteed to extend the life of your current roof by 5 to 15 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. RoofMax's deep penetrating power restores flexibility and water protection. Nobody wants to replace their roof. Restore it instead with RoofMax for 80% less. Call now for a free roof inspection.
Are you suffering with neck pain, back pain, or sciatica due to disc-related conditions? You may have tried drugs, spinal injections, or physical therapy just to find out it didn't help. You're not alone. The problem is that some of those treatments focus on symptom relief, but may not address the underlying disc problem. As a result of injury or overuse, the discs may bulge, herniate, or degenerate over time. Our therapies are highly successful and reduce pain associated with those conditions and may help you avoid neck or back surgery. At Midwest Spine and Nerve Center, we'll design a treatment program using the latest in pain-relieving therapies, including non-surgical spine decompression, ProAdjuster 360 computerized technology, laser therapy, and more. Visit our website or call to schedule a complimentary consultation.
Here at Portage Furniture, our customers, well, they're everything to us. And to say thank you the entire month of May, you can save big at our Customer Appreciation Sale. So many of you deserve a thank you. Our first responders, our teachers, our farmers, and our vets, and everyone in between. These are real people, real customers, and the real reason we're here. All furniture brands are on sale. I mean everything, and everyone saves.
When you pull up to someone's house, the first thing you see nowadays is their garage door.
Let Precision's experienced designers come to your home and help you select the perfect door for your house.
Precision is there to help.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Right now, pet dander, skin cells, mold spores, pollen, and dirt are being sucked into your air ducts. Get cleaner air and system efficiency now with Stanley Steamer. Your air ducts aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Americans' paychecks saw a 1.2% jump in the first 3 months of 2024. That's up 0.9% from the previous quarter, according to the Department of Labor. But U.S. consumer confidence has dropped to its lowest level in over a year and a half, according to the latest survey from research group The Conference Board. In April, the consumer confidence level fell to 97, down from 103.1 in March. Walnuts sold at Whole Foods and other health food stores in 19 states are being recalled. The FDA says it is now investigating whether Gibson Farms brand organic light halves and pieces shelled walnuts are linked to an E. coli outbreak that has sickened 12 people. 7 people have been hospitalized. Retailers are urged not to serve the recalled walnuts and to sanitize and clean any surfaces the product may have had contact with. And Walmart is rolling out a new store label of affordable gourmet foods. The retailer plans to sell 300 items under the name Better Goods, with prices expected to range from $2 to $15. Some Better Goods products are already on Walmart store shelves, with more items coming through the fall. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
All right, we're back with an update to that breaking news we brought you at the top of the hour from Mount Horeb on that active shooter from earlier. We're learning that the initial search of the middle school has not yielded any additional suspects. As importantly, the district is reporting no reports of individuals being harmed, with the exception of the alleged assailant.
Boy, that is a
big news.
That is a big relief. That's confirmed from the district. The district says that the immediate center students were evacuated. There was no threat at that location. And buses, I'm sure a lot of parents are watching and wondering what's going to happen with that. The buses are aware of the situation, and they are getting ready to escort the children to a reunification site. So make sure if you're in the Mount Horeb School District, you pay attention to your email, the district social media, their Facebook page. They're updating the situation.
By the minute right here, yeah.
Right. The district also says right now they're in a systematic release of the middle school students. They are not being released, however, at this time. So stay tuned to their sites. And they also took a moment to say, you would be so proud of our students and staff. And we're very grateful to our first responders. This is you hear a situation like this, it's terrifying.
This could have gone a lot differently.
Right.
Again, all this stuff just coming in here within the last 15 minutes. So this is a developing story. We do have a crew at the scene. We're going to get to them as soon as we possibly can with a live report. But obviously that was some really important information that we just got from the district.
Right. No one injured.
All right, still ahead for us at noon. We're tracking your first warn forecast.
And then later this afternoon on Live at 4, we're going to lighten things up a little bit. Lisa Briggs will be here. She'll be taking your plant and gardening questions as we go into the spring season. We'll be right back.
Spring is here. The grass is getting green and the flowers are blooming. And along with that comes the rain. Hi, Andrew Larson here from Larson Home Services. When's the last time someone inspected your roof, giving you the peace of mind that your roof was good to go for another year? At Larson Home Services, we'll give you a free 16-point inspection letting you know the true condition of your roof. Remember, when you think roofing, think Larson, Wisconsin's best roofing experience.
Steinhoffel's Memorial Day mattress sale is on now. Get a Beauty Rest Queen mattress for only $399. Save up to $1,200 on Beauty Rest adjustable base sets. Upgrade your sleep to the Beauty Rest Black for $50 per month. Plus get $300 Steinhoffel's cash and a $100 rewards card. You'll rest easy when you use Steinhoffel's 60-month financing. Steinhoffel's, your mattress destination. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
Cash in on the basketball action with Prize Picks. Pick more or less on 2 or more players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Playoff time is your time. Squad up with the millions of Prize Picks members across the country who are turning up for every big moment. Use code TV during the playoffs for a first deposit match up to $100.
Watch the game change, yeah.
Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app.
Last year, our daughter blessed our family with this cute little nugget. We're supposed to leave our next generation better off, but because Washington politicians have spent our money recklessly, he starts out owing hundreds of $1,000s of debt. It's wrong. The spending needs to stop. Unlike career politicians who drive us deeper into debt, I'll fight for him and for your children to have a better future. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
On the next Live at 4, we're sitting down with our plant expert to answer your burning questions.
Lisa Briggs will be back with everything you need to know going into the spring season.
Technology and creativity merge to help neurodivergent individuals explore their unique talents.
So this is our recording studio.
In his Time for Kids series, Jalen Banks takes you to the place where Dr. Daryl Treffert's work lives on. Tonight at 6. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Welcome back at noon. Our breaking news coverage continues on the protests at UW-Madison after law enforcement took down the encampment earlier near the Library Mall.
Let's check back in with our Kyle Pozorski. He is near Bascom Hill. Hi, Kyle. What can you tell us right now?
Well, good afternoon. In the past 15 minutes, we have moved up the street on State Street here towards Bascom Hill, as you can see behind me. It was earlier today. We were at Library Mall, and again, the scene this morning was just chaotic throughout the entire morning. Again, everything has calmed down. It was earlier today. We had a post that we saw online by the Students for Justice in Palestine. They said they were going to have a march at some point, which we were expecting them to do, walking up State Street or going up to Bascom Hill. So far, nothing. They said that was going to happen at 11, and so far we are now an hour and 15 minutes since that time, and nothing has happened. But as you look around here, we are going to kind of swing around. Students at this hour are still going around, walking about as their day just continues pretty much normally as it should be. Basically, the entire protest and encampment continues to just be contained to Library Mall. For more, we're going to send it back to you in the studio, reporting live here on the UW campus. I'm Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
And quickly, Kyle, classes are in session as normal on campus today, right?
That's right. Finals week is next week, so classes do continue. Mark Levitt earlier this morning said classes have not been disrupted at all.
Yeah. Nor have commencement ceremonies, by the way, which are coming up next weekend. All right, Kyle Pozorski reporting live. Kyle, thank you.
Now to First Warn weather. Our team is tracking the next chances for rain and thunderstorms. Here's Jacob with the First Warn forecast.
Thanks, Josh. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. We're going to see dry conditions today, but storms are possible for tomorrow. But in general, temperatures are going to remain mild going forward. Each of the next 10 days, high temperatures are forecasted to be in the 60s or the 70s. But we do have alert day conditions in the forecast for your Thursday. Some strong storms are possible, especially during the evening. but we are going to see rain throughout much of the day. And looking at the severe weather outlook, there is a marginal risk, so that's only level 1 out of 5. But remember, there was a marginal risk back in February where we did have that tornado down south in Evansville. So just be aware that there could be some strong storms, especially during the evening hours. Now, looking at the forecast, we are going to see clouds continue today, but we're not really going to see a lot of rain, maybe a few sprinkles during the evening. During the overnight hours, we'll see more rain move into our area, but the bulk of the precipitation will move in closer to sunrise, and it is expected to continue throughout much of the morning, especially for areas west of Madison. We're going to see widespread showers, but this round of rain will likely not produce any severe weather. As we get into the early afternoon, still seeing those heavy showers to the north and west of Madison, but then we're going to dry up a little bit, and this is the key. Depending on how much sunshine we get and how much moisture and humidity we can get, that will depend on how strong the storms will be. So we could see some of those strong storms forming to the west of our area during the late afternoon and evening, and really impacting our area during the evening hours. And this is the round of thunderstorms that could produce some severe weather. But as we get closer to the overnight hours, the severe weather risk will diminish, and that is why areas east of Madison are not under that marginal risk. Now, most of these showers will clear out during the overnight hours, and we are expected to be dry for Friday, with sunshine expected to return later in the day. Now, looking at the precipitation forecast, we are going to see about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch for Madison, but it looks like the heaviest rain will be off to the north and west, which is very good news considering those are the locations that are under the drought still, while the southeastern portion of the state not under the drought. So this rain looks like it will help a lot. And the rain we have seen over the last couple weeks has certainly helped a lot as well. Now, looking at the rain chances even beyond the next 2 days, we are going to see a chance of showers on Saturday. And as we get towards next week, we'll see some on and off chances of rain. Looks like the best chance will be Tuesday during the day, but Sunday especially is looking sunny, and it's going to be very nice on Sunday as well. So looking at the temperatures over the next 10 days, I mean, it's going to be very nice, middle 60s to middle 70s, nothing too warm and certainly nothing too cold either. So it's going to continue to be very nice. Now, before I show you the 10-day forecast, here's a look at our weather photo of the day. This was sent in by Misty from Orfordville. This is that wall cloud from just this past weekend. Thank you so much for submitting your photo. We had quite some good weather photos from the severe weather, so thank you all for submitting your photos. Now, here's a look at the 7 to 10-day forecast. Alert day conditions on Thursday, but beyond that, we're looking relatively quiet. Could see some rain on Saturday. Not going to see too much rain Saturday, and then a chance of storms on Tuesday before we see more rain by the end of next work week. But the best news is that those temperatures are going to remain very comfortable. So after the alert day tomorrow, we're going to continue to be nice, especially on Sunday. Plenty of sunshine, highs near 70.
Thank you. Ahead at noon, we'll head back out to continue our breaking news coverage from UW-Madison's campus for the latest on the protests and an update from Mount Horeb when we come back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Do you have both Medicare and Medicaid? If so, you may qualify for a dual-eligible special needs plan from Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, with benefits and coverage for dental services or routine eye exams. Call now to explore plan options available in your zip code. Learn about the additional care, resources, and support you could have with an Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield dual special needs plan. Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield dual-eligible special needs plans offer more benefits than you have access to with original Medicare alone. Additional benefits could help you save out-of-pocket costs. These benefits could include a healthy grocery allowance each month, transportation to plan-approved medical appointments, or an annual allowance to spend on eyewear. Most of the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield dual special needs plans have $0 monthly premiums, $0 copays, or $0 deductibles that can also help you save on out-of-pocket costs. If you have both Medicare and Medicaid, don't miss your chance to enroll in a dual special needs plan. Call today to see what plans with additional benefits may be available in your zip code. Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield dual special needs plans offer more than original Medicare, like annual allowances towards dental, vision, or hearing coverage. These plans offer even more benefits that may provide you with additional care and support. With a 24/7 nurse line, you could have access to a registered nurse to help answer your questions whenever you need. If you're in immediate need of a caregiver or emergency services, these Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield plans provide a personal emergency response system. Contact a caregiver or emergency services at the touch of a button. If you have both Medicare and Medicaid, don't miss your chance to enroll in a plan with more benefits than you may have with Original Medicare alone. Call today to speak with a licensed agent and explore 2024 dual-eligible special needs plans. The call is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 800-357-1385. 800-357-1385. That's 800-357-1385. Call now.
Keep your lawn healthy with an 11% rebate from Menards. Yardworks offers a variety of landscape tools to keep your lawn beautiful, like this medium-duty garden hose. Its guard and grip connector protects it from damage and makes it easy to connect to. Just $14.99 after rebate. Suncast has everything you need to store the tools for your outdoor projects. Store your garden hose safely with a Suncast hose reel cart. $32.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
All right, we're back with continuing coverage now on that breaking news out of Mount Horeb. This is brand new video from the scene where an active shooter has been neutralized.
So that's the good news.
That's the good news.
There is no current active shooter in the school right now, but if parents are watching, the district is still on full lockdown at this hour. And according to the district's Facebook page, this started about 11:16 this morning. The district is still asking parents, please do not go to the school at this hour. They're working with students and buses.
You know, this has been a big story here for the last hour. Obviously, a lot of parents are concerned, right? This is something hitting very, very close to home. I know we have parents here in the building with kids in the Mount Horeb School District, and you hear that and your heart just drops, right? Because we see this in other parts of the country. But the good news here, you know, that update that we've gotten within the last 10 minutes during the broadcast, that the threat has been neutralized outside of the school. And that was the only, you know, situation here. So like this could have been a lot worse.
You hear the term, and just the term active shooter is terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it really is. And word, of course, spread to other area school districts as well. Word like this spreads fast. But the situation is under control. It's just a matter now of figuring out how to dispatch the students, get them on their buses, and get them home. But once again, they're asking all parents not to go to the school at this time. They have the situation under control.
This is something that we're going to continue following because, you know, obviously, like we mentioned, this is something that doesn't happen around here. You hear, you know, we cover this all the time, Susan. We hear about this all the time, but this is really close to home. And, you know, a lot of parents have questions. I know my phone was going off the hook from some viewers in the area. You know, what's going on? My kid goes there. Or I know someone that goes there. But I think the other update was in the district putting on Facebook how grateful they were for the response, not only from the students, but law enforcement, parents in the area. It turned out to be a very positive thing, which this could have been a lot worse.
And that's not something you always hear when you get an update in a situation like this, but they gave the students, the staff, the teachers a high praise for remaining calm, doing what they were asked to do, and resolving the situation quickly, which is what you hope for in a situation like this. And the schools are still on lockdown at this hour, and we're also hearing anecdotally from people, some surrounding businesses, I think, are also on lockdown as well. So if you're hearing from people that are asking to remain in place at where they're shopping or eating or in their place of business, that situation should be resolved quickly as well. It's just part of the police protocol.
Small community like Mount Horeb,
That's
right? Everyone knows each other. Like we were hearing reports of some people even being locked down in Culver's, right? Everyone taking those proactive measures to be safe until you know exactly what's going on, because there's a lot, of course, of information. There's a lot of reports that go out, and you have to kind of go through all that information and what is actually accurate.
And it's hard when you want information immediately. But this appears to be, while it is still a tragic situation, the best case scenario, that no other people were injured. It seems to be an isolated incident.
Yeah, still an active scene. Again, new video here from Mount Horeb. If you're just joining us here, multiple breaking stories happening. The latest here of an earlier active shooter reported at Mount Horeb Middle School. That active shooter was neutralized by police outside of the school, so the threat was mitigated. That's the good news here, and no one else was injured in this. But of course, students shaken up, parents shaken up, a small community shaken up.
Right, and if you're a parent, I'm sure your first instinct is to jump in the car and go to the school. That would be mine. But the district is asking parents to please just stand by, to stay informed. The district is updating this situation by the minute, and they're just trying to get the situation clear and the police presence gone, and then they will be getting the students on buses. And it's unclear at this hour if classes are going to continue for the rest of the day.
That's what we're waiting to hear at this point.
No students have been dismissed as of right now.
And I think that's a very good measure too, is keep the students all in one area where you know that where they are, you know where they're safe. And I think that's always the hardest part with parents, is they want to be able to get to their kids right away. But like today, the school kept them safe. They were able to, keep them away from any danger, which is amazing news. You know, that's very, very positive news, because we see so many tragedies out of situations like this in other parts of the country.
And seeing this live picture, this is also a very good sign. Traffic is flowing. This is the main thoroughfare into Mount Horeb, and this will tell you that that the situation is under control. Otherwise, they would be blocking traffic off and rerouting people. So it's a good sign to see that as well.
All right, so that's one breaking story. We'll get back to that. Now we want to check back in with our Jalen Banks live at UW-Madison campus after things escalated at that protest this morning.
That's right. The UW-Madison police officers, early this morning, you were on the air, Josh. They asked the protesters to take down their tents. And Jalen, now we understand that the tents are coming back up. Bring us up to date on the situation at this hour.
Yes, Susan and Josh, I would describe the encampment as being completely back up. There's around 24 tents up currently. The atmosphere of the encampment and Library Mall, I would say, is energized. Over the past 30 minutes or so, they've had multiple on and off chants of Free Palestine, another chant of Hail Our Martyrs, and things of that nature. I believe it's in response to what has been an increased law enforcement presence over the last 30 to 40 minutes. Currently, I see around 10 or so law enforcement officers here. I believe they are with the Sheriff's Department. But yeah, I would just say right now the tension isn't high, but the atmosphere and the energy is up amongst the students and those within the encampment and around Library Mall. Pretty busy time right now with it being lunchtime, so you see more people trickling into the encampment. But we'll continue to keep you updated throughout our newscasts and online, both on air and on channel3000.com. But for now, at Library Mall, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now. Oh.
Yeah, we're getting some updates here from UWPD. A total of 34 people were arrested this morning. A majority of those arrested were released with no citation issued. So that's new here within the last few minutes. Of those arrested, 4 were booked into the Dane County Jail on several different offenses. 1, attempting disarming a police officer, resisting arrest, and attempted escape. 2, battery of a police officer. 3, battery to a police officer and resisting arrest. And 4, battery to a police officer. So those that did get violent, those are the ones that were hauled off. Everyone else, was released.
And Jalen, UW-Madison police made the point of saying that they are respecting the protesters' right to free speech. That was a sentiment echoed by UW-Madison Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin. The issue is the illegality of putting up tents on Library Mall, but it doesn't appear the protesters are honoring that.
Speaking with one of the representatives of the encampment, she was adamant that they will not move, that they do not plan on leaving. She had emphasized how they are being peaceful and why there shouldn't be any action taken against them for that reason. But yes, again, speaking to representatives from the encampment and the students running it, they were pretty clear that they do not plan on leaving the area anytime soon.
Have any of the students said anything to you? Are they concerned they could potentially be arrested?
No, nobody has shared any concerns of things being arrested. They've just reiterated that they don't feel as if they're doing anything wrong. They don't believe that police should be physical with them, that they're just simply trying to be peaceful and things of that nature. But no fears of being arrested at this time.
I think it's, going back to how the day kind of transpired. We started News Right Now this morning at 4:30. Shane Helgen was live on the air. We were the only station there when this all went down. We were starting the morning sprint 6:53, and that's when police, of course, issued that warning. They gave the 15-minute warning, right? That's 48 hours after they gave the initial warning that if you camp out at UW, that is illegal. There will be consequences. They gave them plenty of time, warning several times before those arrests actually took place. And it's important to note, because I know there are a lot of reports out there, this did remain nonviolent. You know, police arrested those 34 people that we can report now. But other than that, we've seen the video from all other parts of the country where these things have gotten much more violent, where they've escalated a lot. So, I mean, we can be pretty grateful that at least it did remain somewhat calm, even though it did escalate pretty quickly this morning.
And as we said, all UW officials and law enforcement officials say the protesters have a right to protest. It's the issue of erecting tents on Library Mall that is a violation of UW rules and laws. Jalen, are most of the people there, are they all students as far as you can tell?
No, I wouldn't say that it's all students. Yesterday, I would say that it would be majority students, but today I see what I believe are just older people. I'd be surprised if they were students themselves. I understand that there were faculty out here as well during the entanglement between law enforcement and the encampment. I actually spoke to a UW professor myself who was involved and had actually sustained a few injuries during the entanglement. He claims himself that he was attacked. Again, he claimed that to happen. But I would say it seems to be a more diverse crowd in terms of age. Does not appear to be all of your typical looking college students or college age looking individuals.
And have you seen any evidence of any counter protest from pro-Israeli organizations? Passover ended at sundown last night, and that prevented a lot of people from speaking out about this. Are you seeing any evidence of that?
At this moment, no. Yesterday around sundown, there were some pro-Israeli groups out here. I understand that last night and maybe even early this morning, there may have been some shouting between the two groups, but as of noon and at the noon hour, no, there's no pro-Israeli or counter groups out here.
Well, all is quiet for now. Let's hope it stays that way.
All right, Jalen, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Jalen.
Now to our other breaking story on the west side of Dane County.
That's right. Let's go live to Mount Horeb. Our Maddie Heimsch just arrived on the scene. Maddie, where? You.
Maddie, we can't hear you. It sounds like we're having some audio issues getting your microphone. She might not be able to hear us either. Well. Yeah, it's one of those days. This is live TV, folks. Again, Maddie Heimsch live at the scene here. We'll hopefully get that microphone situation figured out right here. But the good news is of course, we've been covering this for the last 37 minutes here when we came on the news at News 3 Now at noon. The threat from earlier today, that active shooter reported at Mount Horeb earlier has been neutralized. So that's what we can report at this hour.
Yep, that's right. No one was injured other than the person involved in the incident. The district is the schools, as far as we know at this hour, are still on full lockdown, and students have not yet been dismissed. Parents are being urged not to go to the schools at this time. They're working on figuring out whether school will resume or whether students will be released.
I think that's always the hardest thing as parents. First thing, it's that, you know, you want to go there, but right now they have so much of an investigation to do.
Yes.
They're trying to keep the people away, even though that's so hard, you know. And I think the one thing is, I'm guessing, you know, with cell phones and stuff, I'm sure some of those kids are able to get in touch with their parents, but it's always that initial, that feeling, right? The feeling that we had when we first heard about the report here in the newsroom. It's that your gut.
Pit in your stomach.
It does.
Right.
It does.
We've seen too many situations like this all across the country. You never think it's going to hit close to home, and when it does, it's frightening. But luckily, this situation appears to be under control for the most part. Now it's just a matter of figuring out how the rest of the day will progress, and parents will be reunited with their students in Mount Horeb.
I think in this sense, and the district even commented on that on Facebook, just saying that it took the community to come together. It took everyone in this sense. This is why you do drills. This is why you plan for events like this, because you never know. Of course, this could have been a lot worse. We're going to try for Maddie Heimsch right now. I think she's back with us. Maddie, can you hear you, or can you hear us, and can we hear you?
I can hear you, Josh. I hope you can hear me back. I heard you talking about how how the school district put out a statement that they parents and community members should be proud of the students that were involved. When I was over by the school just a moment ago, I talked to parents as law enforcement told them they could go pick up their children from that secondary location that they were sent to, obviously tearfully receiving that news. It looks like there were dozens and dozens of those emergency vehicles surrounding the school. Obviously, those parents can't get in very close, but again, reporting in Mount Horeb will continue to update you as the situation unfolds. I'm Maddie Heimsch with News 3 Now.
Maddie, I know you just got there and you're just gathering information right now, but do you know if students are going to be dismissed for the rest of the day or if classes will continue?
As far as I can tell, it seems like things are going to be on lockdown for the rest of the day. I talked to an officer just a bit ago who said all the buildings are on lockdown as police continue to sweep, looking for additional suspects, additional threats. So it doesn't look like things are going to be opening up back here in Mount Horeb anytime soon.
Well, and surrounding businesses, as we were mentioning, too, are probably on lockdown as well, but at least for parents watching, they can exhale.
I don't know, she's asking me questions.
Okay,
I think we
just lost Maddie again.
Yeah. I think you can see, too, obviously, the Wisconsin State Patrol in the background. We were hearing reports of law enforcement from all over, of course, headed to the scene, right? Because you hear active shooter and you start thinking the worst. So, obviously, the preparations were there. We do have a brand new statement from Dane County Executive Joe Parisi, if we can pull that up on the screen here. Dane County Executive Parisi says May 1st, 2024 will be a date not forgotten. Moments like this turn lives upside down, cause trauma, sorrow, and a moment of reflection for all of us. So that's, again, brand new from Joe Parisi here. To the young people, their families, and educators, no words can say enough of how much we as a community are here for you and grieve with you. Dane County is a close-knit community. We are here for you and will continue to be here. To our first responders, thank you for once again stepping forward to help in another moment of critical need. Let's all take a moment today to hug our kids and come together to help Mount Horeb heal. And I think that's the biggest thing, is obviously the healing begins, because this is, people are still going to be scarred after this.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to wrap up our live coverage here, but continue to stay with Channel 3000 online and on the air. We'll break in with all of these developing stories as the situation evolves throughout the day. Thank you for watching us this afternoon, and we'll return you now to regular programming.